I was a School of International Studies, Global Studies major with a focus in East Africa. My current job, I am a project director for a development project in Guatemala. And so my job is specifically designing the project and planning the project and seeing the project through. A workday is quite interesting because I can be doing a number of different things. So I can be doing marketing, I can be doing planning for an awareness campaign, writing a project proposal, writing a budget, dealing with fundraising. So my day can range from all those things, dealing with website design. Skills that I regularly use would include business marketing, any kind of business skills like proposal writing, business plan writing. I would also use anthropology skills in terms of culture and understanding culture and learning how to speak with people, ask the right questions. Survey design also, there's components of the project where I would be designing surveys. Research is quite important, so researching the history, researching a little bit about indoor air pollution or problems specifically. And then history is quite important, knowing the history of Guatemala, and economics, learning about those things and those things. My career path was to basically, I spent the last 2 years basically doing research to figure out whether a project was feasible or not. So over the last 2 years, planning and networking and figuring out whether I could do it in Guatemala or whether it was something that people had already done there, or if I was trying to pretty much reinvent the wheel of someone already done. So what I've done is basically do planning for the project, and right now I'm currently fundraising for my salary. So the project will kind of ramp up full-time in January for next year. So it'll be probably about a 2-year project. To be successful, you need to be able to listen well, be flexible, and be open to making mistakes, especially if you're living and working in another culture. It's also important not to be afraid to make a mistake or sound silly if you're speaking another language. For instance, if I have a meeting with someone in a municipality and I'm speaking Spanish at a 5-year-old level, they still appreciate that I'm speaking Spanish and not trying to speak English to them. So it's quite important to be confident in trying to speak another language, but be willing to make mistakes. The coolest thing about my job is that I get to help other people. Figuring out if a project works and if it's going to function right, it's really rewarding. And starting something from scratch and seeing it come to life is really cool. But it's really rewarding knowing that it's just something that could potentially save people's lives, something that can help someone make a living and help with development. So it's great. For someone that's interested in this, the most important thing would be to plan quite well. If you can't make something happen if you're not willing to spend all the time to write the proposals and to do all the legwork and planning and looking at how you're going to evaluate the project and all those things. So it's just like starting a business. If you're going to start something from scratch, you have to put all that work into it to see if it can function or not.